In today's episode of the Pep Talk Podcast, come with me and we'll be in a world of pure imagination. But first, I have a question for you. Have you had your dose of pep today? No? Don't worry. You're in the right place because I've got you. Y'all, welcome to the Pep Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Jay. If this is your first time joining us, I'm so happy that you're here. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the Pep Squad. I hope that you find the motivation, inspiration, and encouragement that you need to make it through this week. If you are coming back, if you are a regular member of the Pep Squad, so glad that you are here as well, whether you're watching us on YouTube or whether you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you catch your podcast. Y'all, I'm just glad that you're here with me on this second week of 2024. Yo, the first week was crazy. There was chaos, there was suspense, there was mystery, there was adventure, there was action. But through it all, there was also peace and there was also joy. And I hope that that has been the same thing in your life. Y'all know that the mission of this podcast is to cheer you on, and it's also to coach you up. I believe that everybody needs a cheerleader, somebody to be a big believer, somebody to encourage you, somebody to push you. But we also need a coach who can look at us and say, hey, you're great. I see your greatness, but there's more that we can do. There's more that you can do, and I want to help you get there. And so, as a life coach, it is my pleasure, it is my privilege to be that person for you. And if you're listening on Monday, or if you listen throughout the rest of the week, I'm just so glad that you are here with us for this episode. You know it's going to be special because I sang for you at the beginning of the episode. How many of you know what that song is from? And if you said Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, you were right. You're right. My wife and I, we went to see the new movie Wonka at the beginning of this week, I believe it was. And it impressed me so much. Y'all, I'm sitting in the movie theater and I'm smiling like a little kid. And as soon as the credits started wrapping on the movie, I knew that I needed to use it for this week's episode because we're still at the very beginning of a new year. And there are some things that we need to talk about. And I think that I can use Wonka, Willy Wonka. I think that I can use what was in this movie to really get my point across. Now, if you haven't seen it yet, there are going to be some spoilers. Sorry about that. But hopefully, this really encourages you to go and watch it, whether it's in the movie theaters or when it comes out on whatever streaming platform it ends up coming out on. I personally cannot wait to see it again. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you that this episode is really, really dear to my heart. As I was thinking about the episode before I pressed play, record on my computer, I was thinking about dreams. And, the kind of movies that I really love are movies that get me dreaming and thinking about the possibilities in life. I think I've told you all before that one of my favorite movies, I may have even done an entire episode on this. One of my favorite movies is Limitless with Bradley Cooper, because it's this whole idea of what would life look like if I had access to 100% of the potential in my brain. Like, what if I could make it actionable and put it into use right now? I'd be a multimillionaire. I'm convinced of it. And so would you. However, with what we have to work with, there are people out there who are doing it, who are living their dreams, but there are just as many people, if not more, who are not. And so I want to dedicate this episode to the people out there who are trying to build that dream, the people who are trying to realize that dream, the people out there who are sitting on their dreams, the people who have buried their dreams, the people who have said in their hearts that my dream will never come true. Can I tell you right now, before I even get started good, that is just not true. But it is also very much true. And why is that? If you think your dream is dead, then your dream is dead. However, I would like to hypothesize, to theorize. I want you to theorize with me for just a moment. What if that dead dream that you have placed into a casket still has a heartbeat? Maybe it's faint, but what if it's still alive and it's just waiting on you to believe in it? Y'all, I'm a big proponent of dreams. I know what it's like. And I've been through this in many seasons of my life. So if you're watching on YouTube, you see my face and you see how serious I am. If you're listening, I hope that you can hear in my voice when I say this. The world needs your dream. It wasn't just given to you all willy-nilly. It wasn't given to you randomly. Your dream was given to you because you are the person with the specific makeup that needs to do it. And it doesn't matter how many people are doing things like the thing that you're dreaming about. It doesn't matter. It is you, the special sauce that you bring to it, the individual mix of genetics and gifts and talents and abilities that you have, that only you have. It is the calculus and the math and the algebra that produces that X inside of you that, when added to the dream that you have on your heart, while it may look like what somebody else is doing, it's not. So what if the dream that you were saying is dead? What if it still has a heartbeat? What if it still has a heartbeat? What if? And I know what it's like to go through a season where things are just so hard that it even hurts to dream. I've been there. I know what it's like to willingly lay a dream down, because I can't imagine, based on where I am in life right now, that my dream actually comes true. Or maybe you're listening and you're saying, I have been told no on my dreams so many different times that I'm afraid to even hope that it could come true again. I want to encourage you with this. It does not matter. And I need you to listen to me, and I need you to hear this. And if you don't get anything else from this episode except this statement, I need you to get this statement. Write it down somewhere, whatever. It doesn't matter how many people tell you no to your dream, as long as you still have a yes in your heart. It doesn't matter how many times you audition for the program and they tell you no, as long as you have a yes in your heart and a yes in your spirit. It doesn't matter how many banks tell you no about the loan, as long as you still have a yes in your heart and a yes in your spirit. It doesn't matter how many people tell you no. As long as you still have a yes inside of you, then your dream still has a heartbeat. But when you begin to internalize the no's, that's when dreaming becomes hard. That's when dreaming hurts. That's when I can't bear to dream this again. So you grab the shovel and you begin to dig the shovel on your dreams. Understand, and I need you to hear my passion for this right now. I need you, y'all. I'm in my ET bag, my Eric Thomas bag right now. Understand that you owe it to you to really dig and delve and see what's inside of you. And if you have buried your dream, you owe it to you to dig it back up, because it's not done. The dream is not done with you. You're not done with your dream. What's happened is you've allowed life and frustrations to make you think that your dream is dumb, that your dream is stupid, and that your dream literally has no life left in it. I'm going to say it again. It does not matter how many times you have been told no. Because as long as you still have a yes in your heart, y'all, your dream is resilient and can live throughout all manner of obstacles and challenges. Our dreams are as resilient as we are. And you will never know how truly resilient your dream is until you subject it to the elements, until you subject it to the nose. Y'all, I know what it's like to have a conversation with yourself and say, are we doing this or are we not? I know what it's like to say, yes, we're doing this, and then immediately feel the sting of the rejection. I know what it's like. I know what it's like. And that's why I can speak to this. That's why I can come on here and I can tell you that as long as your dream is alive, as long as you believe in your dream, then your dream is alive. And I'm also going to say this: the dream you have in your heart, what actually manifests, it may not look exactly the same. But I need you to have the maturity and the awareness to understand that the dream is the dream is the dream. No matter what it looks like when it comes out. Yo, when you're having a baby, you have in your head an idea of what this baby might look like based on the genes of the mom and the genes of the dad and the genes of other relatives. You have an idea of what it looks like, of what the baby will look like. You get that 3D sonogram or ultrasound, and you kind of get a glimpse of what it's going to look like. But you never know what that baby is going to look like until the baby gets here. And even then, when the baby's a baby, the baby's features changes as that baby matures into toddlerhood and childhood and teenagehood and ultimately adulthood. Because that DNA, that genetic, and that those genetics inside of that baby, it is constantly growing and shifting and rebranching so that the final result of what the potential of the DNA was, it doesn't manifest until later on in life. The same thing is to be said with your dream. You may have an entire blueprint of what it looks like now. But please don't be so short-sighted as to think that what you see in your head is going to be what it looks like when it actually materializes and manifests. No, 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 no. And please don't be so short-sighted that when it comes and it does not look like what you think, you're quick to say, this wasn't my dream. Because then what happens is the lack of gratitude for the dream manifesting, it steals away all of the joy, it steals away all of the power and the potency from your dream. Therefore, the impact, influence that your dream is supposed to have, that you always imagined that it would have, you don't see it for what it is. And so you sap all of the goodness out of the dream that was supposed to have been there in the first place. Y'all, I'm talking about the movie Wonka. And I saw this play out over the course of his story, from the beginning of the story where he is getting off of the boat, deciding that he is going to chase his dream of being a chocolatier in this area where these three big chocolatiers, they have it on lock, but he has this idea that there is this place where he wants to open up his store, and he comes in with all of this optimism. It's magical. And I remember I'm watching this and I'm smiling to myself because my heart is just saying, yeah, Jay, yeah, this is what it feels like. When you have a dream, this is what it feels like. You just want to sing, you want to dance. You want to tell other people about it because you want other people to be unlocked for their dreams because you're unlocked in your dreams. And over the course of the story, he suffers setbacks. The people that he wants to impress, they reject him. Not because what he's doing is not good, not because his dream is not good, but because his dream makes them nervous. But because they know that his dream is direct competition, that they know that his dream could possibly put them out of business. But here's the thing, and I saw this from a friend of mine, Pastor Diego Fuller, Journey Fort Worth, in Fort Worth, Texas. He said that if our hearts aren't right, then the very people that we were meant to collaborate with are the people that we will put ourselves in competition with. And that's what these three gentlemen, they could have collaborated with Wonka and things would have been incredible. But they chose to see him as competition. And so they tried everything that they could do to squash him, even enlisting, corrupt cops and corrupt uh, uh, Pope people. Sorry, the words escape me. To bury this guy. Even going so far as ultimately trying to kill him. And Wonka had a moment in the movie where they had backed him into a corner and they gave him a choice to save his friends and never make chocolate again and to leave, or they could make life really, really much more difficult for everybody that he knew and loved. And to save them, he walked away. But as he was in the process of sailing across the ocean, he discovered a bomb on the boat, whatever. I'm not going to go there. He knew that he had to go back because it wasn't done. At the end of the movie, he'd been waiting on his mom because his mom told him that when he debuted, she would be there. And he'd had a debut and she wasn't there and he was down. But at the end of the movie, very end, his dreams are realized now. And he opens up this piece of chocolate that he'd saved from when his mom made it for him. And in it was a note from his mom. And it said this: "It's not the chocolate that matters, but the people you share it with." And I stopped in the movie theater and I grabbed my phone and I typed that down real quick because here's what that said to me. It's not the dream that matters. It's the people that you share it with. It's the people who come alongside that dream with you. It's the people who believe and who are willing to help you. It's the people who are willing to listen to you talk about your dream. They never get tired of it. They want to hear you talk about it, and they're so invested in your dream that they want to use their talents and their gifts and their abilities to help your dream come to fruition. You've probably been that person for other people, but I'm here to tell you now that you cannot hold your dream so close to your chest that you refuse to allow other people to do for you what you are so willing to do for others. Do you hear me? Your dream is worth as much investment and collaboration as all of the investment and collaboration that you so willingly place into other people's dreams. And I'm not asking you to be selfish with your dream. As a matter of fact, I'm telling you right now to give your dream away. Give it away. Like the Red Hot Chili Pepper said, give it away, give it away, give it away now. Give it away, give it away, give it away now. Give your dream away. Because when you give your dream away, you're not sending it off so that it doesn't return. No. When you send your dream away, you are giving it, sharing it with people who were meant to partner with you, to collaborate with you, so that your dream becomes greater than you ever even realized. Y'all, as great as Wonka thought that his chocolate was, he could never have imagined a life as full and as fulfilled as the life he lived when he had people investing in him and his dream, and they were working together to bring it to pass, to see change happen, to watch the change in the lives of others, to spread the magic, to spread the love, to spread the joy and the cheer. And I need you to hear me on this. When you give your dream away by sharing it to other people instead of keeping it to yourself, your dream takes on new life, it receives new energy, and you don't get tired. Somebody out there is tired of pursuing your dream because you've been trying to do it all alone. You've been trying to do it by yourself for so very long. And it's because your dream was never just meant to be for you. Your dream was never just meant to be something that was for you. Your dream was meant to be a partnership, a collaboration, a celebration of the shared hearts of humanity coming together to bring something to bear. The African proverb that we use all the time is that it takes a village to raise a baby. Y'all, it takes a village to birth a dream. And as long as you keep trying to do it by yourself, as long as you keep trying to do it by candlelight in the dark of a room, the dream's never going to mature. It will have a cap on how big it can actually become. It will come with limits on it. That's why I'm so thankful for all of you who listen week by week. You are listening to me. Y'all, I never had a dream of being a podcaster until I started podcasting. And then my dream was to create a space where people could come and they could receive the encouragement that they needed, while they could also hear from someone, a real person with warts, a real person who's made mistakes, a real person who knows what failure is like. They could come and hear a real person say, I'm continuing to make it day by day, therefore you can still make it day by day. And when I hear from you and you tell me that the message is resonating, when I look at the analytics for the podcast, hear me, and I see that from November to now, our downloads have doubled. That tells me that I know what I'm talking about when I tell you that sharing your dream with others, y'all are the people that I'm sharing this dream with. You all are the people, my collaborators, my co-celebrators. We are building this thing together, so that when we arrive together. And when you share it, when you share my dream, when you share this podcast, you are sharing my dream for you and my dream for everybody else, that you live a fulfilled life in community with others, where your heart is filled with joy of knowing that you are not alone. You're not alone. You are not alone. And so it is with that excitement that I encourage you now to pick that dream back up, to pick it up out of that grave, to pick it up out of the way that it's been unceremoniously tossed aside and cast aside like a second-rate citizen, because your life will never truly be whole until you decide that your dream is worth living out. If your dream is to be a teacher and you look at the landscape of education and you're like, man, this looks rough, it doesn't matter. You still teach, because those kids need the dream that's been placed inside of you. The t-shirt business that you want to launch, I tried starting a t-shirt business and it didn't work. But yours will, because you have passion for it. It's going to work. You want to plant that church, you feel called to plant that church, you build your team. You share that dream with others and you plant that church. Whatever your dream is, I need y'all to hear me. Whatever your dream is, whatever the dream is, no Oompa Loompa is coming to sing with you, but I am asking you to engage your pure imagination and just imagine the possibilities of what could be. Because if anybody is worth a dream coming to fruition, it's you. It's you. And when you begin thinking enough of yourself to truly believe that, then you're well on your way to a life beyond your wildest dreams. I'm telling you what I know. I've watched my wife, who had a dream of being a doctor early on in life, leave that dream behind and then have it represented and repackaged in front of her. I know what I'm talking about. Your dreams want to come true, but they need you to believe. They need you to trust the path. They need you to trust that you have a purpose. They need you to trust They need you to believe. They need you to not give up. They need you to just keep getting up every day saying, okay, I don't know how, but we're going to figure it out. I think about The Greatest Showman, another one of my favorite movies, because the film presentation of P.T. Barnum, and I've read about who he really was, and so I don't want to get into that, but the film presentation of P.T. Barnum is that of a dreamer who wanted it so badly. And I resonate with that. And I think so many of you resonate with that as well. So y'all, your dream is important. Don't compare your dream to anybody else's dream. Don't do that to yourself. Your dream is as individual and unique as you are. Your dream is worthy being considered one of one. But if you're going to accomplish your dream, I want to tell you a couple of things first. Okay, number one, spend some time getting clarity on that dream. I can't tell you how many times somebody has asked me what I wanted, and I haven't been able to answer that question. Sometimes I'm still not able to. What do you want? What do you want to accomplish? One of my big dreams right now is to grow my coaching business through this podcast. One of my dreams right now is to have a ranked and beneficial podcast for everybody who blesses it with a listen. Clarity. Because it is the clarity of knowing what you want to accomplish that produces the how. So maybe you have a dream that is nebulous right now. It's really, really vague. I want you to stop it. I want you to write down on a sheet of paper or in your notes the grandest possible outcome that you could ever hope for. And you're asking, like, dude, why are you asking me to think about the grandest outcome? Because dreams only work when you dream big. A big dream is a worthy dream. A big dream is a dream that's going to push you. A big dream is going to hurt. A big dream is going to be exhausting, but it's the big dreams. Like, why would you choose to dream small? I only want to have one business versus I want to open a franchise of chiropractic offices. There we go. Now we can work with that. That's clarity. See, clarity is knowing where you want to go, what it looks like when you get there. But then that knowing that having the clarity begins to produce actionable steps. And that's part two. Number one, you need clarity. Number two, you have to have actionable steps. I know SMART goals they're all the rage and they're everything and this and that. I don't care if you don't use SMART goals. But what you're pointing toward, you need to have actionable steps. You need to have points along the way where you can stop and say, okay, I've hit this mark. I still have this much more to go, but here's how I'm going to get there. So when I was thinking about this podcast and, when we first started off, I think we started off for the first 6, 7, 9 months, 10 months, I think, averaging between 20 to 27 downloads per episode. And I was jazzed about that, but I also wasn't satisfied with it. In the beginning of this podcast, if you've been with us since the beginning, I started off, and you probably could tell in my voice, I was writing everything down and I was reading from a script. I read everything. And when we got into season 2, I'd started planning for growth. And what I said to myself was an actionable step. So my clarity moment, getting clear on my dreams, was that I wanted to create a space where guests could come on and speak comfortably, where we could have comfortable conversations, crucial conversations. But when I did solo episodes, I no longer wanted to read from a script. I wanted to speak from my heart. Therefore, I had to be fully engaged. I had to be fully on. I pray before every episode. I spend the entire week thinking about what I want to talk about because I want the time that we spend together to be value added to your life. And so, action for me is practicing different things throughout the week to see what sticks. I was already planning for growth before growth actually started to happen. And y'all, I'm telling you, growth is happening. The last 5, 6 episodes, we've gone from 30 downloads, we jumped to 50. Then we jumped to 70. Then we jumped to 80 to 90. And listen to me, this very last episode, the first episode of the new year, as of the recording of this episode, that episode has 109 downloads. My mind is blown right now. My mind is blown. However, I planned for it. Dreams don't happen willy-nilly. Dreams don't happen only because you have hope and belief. You have to be clear on what you want, and you have to have actionable steps. I've listened to numerous podcasts about ways to shore up what you're doing to make it more of a value for your listeners. Honestly, I just think that the consistency of the podcast and the things that we have been trying to do are really starting to catch on, and I owe that to you. I owe that to each and every one of you who are listening. I owe it to you. But I think the consistency and the action that I've taken to grow and to learn, they've helped. So you've got to have action, have a strategy. And I can be honest with y'all, I've never been great at having strategies. I've been a big winger. But because I'm clear on my dream of having a fruitful, beneficial, ranked podcast that is a beneficial value add to people who come here because they know that they're going to get cheered up on and they're going to get coached up. Because I'm clear on that and because I'm taking action and I'm learning and I'm developing toward that passion, the dream's going to happen. And if you're clear and you have actionable steps, then you are well on your way to accomplishing something amazing, something incredible. But besides having clarity and besides having actionable steps, I said this before, you need to have people. Wasn't it Barbra Streisand? People who need people are the luckiest people in the world. People need people. Your dreams need people. And if your dream is going to happen, it is not going to happen in a vacuum. So you need to start sharing. And I know the fear of sharing. The fear of sharing is that, what if I share this with folks and then I haven't done anything with it, and then they come back asking me, yo, how's it coming? And I'm like, well, I haven't really done anything with it. I know that fear. I know that fear. But it's good because we need people to hold us accountable. That shows that they are invested. And whether you believe it or not, that shows that they have some measure of belief in you. They're not just being nosy. Well, some of them are, but not all of them. Not all of them are being nosy. They are invested. And so when you share your dream with others, when you bring people in and build a community around raising your dream, somebody, come on. Do you see the exponential growth that can happen when people buy into you and your dream? Do you believe what can happen when you choose to believe in your dream? Do you believe? I need you to believe. I'm speaking on behalf of your dream right now. You have to believe. Because if you don't believe, no amount of belief from anybody else is going to have any impact. We're talking about dreams. And so, as I think about closing out this episode, I think it's important that I reiterate this. It doesn't matter how many people tell you no, as long as you keep saying yes. It doesn't matter how many times people reject you, as long as you keep accepting you. It doesn't matter how many times people walk away from you or don't show up for you, as long as you keep showing up for yourself and for your dream. Your dream, it's your responsibility to cultivate your dream, but it's also your responsibility to build a community around your dream. But it's also your y'all. I was having this conversation with my oldest. I told her that even if the dream does not look the way that you think that it should look right now, even if you've only encountered stumbling block after stumbling block after obstacle, I'm asking you, is your dream still worth pursuing? And is it worth it that if everybody else says no and closes the door, is it worth it enough for you to make your own door? No matter how many times people don't open the door, are you going to keep knocking at the door, or are you going to make your own door and fashion it yourself? See, that's why you need people. That is why you need people. And I want to see you win, because it is your dream that's going to unlock somebody else's life. It is your dream that is going to unlock somebody else's dream. It is your dream that is going to invite somebody into something greater than they have ever known before in their lives. I know what I'm talking about, and I need you to hear me, and I need you to internalize this, and I need you to start walking it out. It's 2024. Time is not waiting on you. There are people that are waiting on you. There are literal people who are waiting on you to solve their problem with your dream, because your dream is a solution to a problem that they're having. But nah, you're content to just sit on it. The dream you never bring to bear are the people who never get the help that your dream was meant to give them. And would you dare be that selfish? To withhold your gift, your talent, your dream from others? No, you're not that kind of person. I know that because you're listening to the Pep Talk Podcast. And what do we say? A rising tide lifts all ships. Your dream is going to lift other people. Your dream is going to unleash other people, just like you've been unleashed by the dreams of others. It's time for you to pay it forward. In 2024, it's time to quit sitting on your dream. It's time to uncover it. It's time to unbury it. And it's time for you to let it live. It's time for you to tell your dream to get up, get up, get up, get up out of that grave. Get up, get up, get up. Come on, get up out of that grave. Tell that dream to get up, get up, get up. Woo, get up out of that grave. I'm just singing all over the place, but I need y'all to hear me. Hear my passion. Hear my passion. It's time for your dream to live. For some of y'all, it's time to dream again. For all of us, me included, it's time to get busy. There is work to be done. There are people to inspire. There are lives to change. There are problems to solve. And it will only happen when we willfully engage with what we have been created to do, and then get about the business of doing it with others. Yes, yes, and yes. Y'all, I love you. Thank you for tuning in to episode 21 of season 2 of the Pep Talk Podcast. My name is Coach Jay. I am a life coach in the Dallas-Fort Worth area of Texas. And it is my pleasure, it is my privilege to come on every Monday to give you a one-on-one session. That's what these are. These are the one-on-one sessions where I get to cheerlead you, but I also get to coach you. I get to cheer you on, but I get to challenge you, because I believe that you're worth it. I believe that you're worth it. You're worth this time. You're worth this belief. You're worth this passion. Your dream is worth this time. Your dream is worth this purpose. Your dream is worth this passion. And I want to see you grow, and I want to see you shine, and I want to see you win, so that through extension, others are winning because you've chosen to dream and act on it. And you've invited other people into your dream to live it out loud. All right? Y'all, this has been episode 21 of season 2 of the Pep Talk Podcast. I'm your boy, Coach Jay, and I love you. And y'all know how we end every episode, right? Keep it love, keep it light, and keep it peppy. Also, leave a rating, leave a review. Yeah, y'all know. Reach out to us at the Pep Podcast at gmail.com or on Instagram at _JB Speaks. I love you. Y'all be blessed. And I'll see you next time. Peace.